Hi, welcome to my podcast. My name is Elizabeth Olvera. Today, we're going to be talking about LDA education requirements. One of the questions that I get asked a lot is, what educational requirements must an LDA have in order to help the public with form preparation? Today, we're going to answer that question on this podcast. In order to become an LDA, you must have either earned a paralegal certificate, have prior legal experience working with the public, or have an attorney sign off that the attorney has supervised your work previously. In addition, we'll talk about how the Business and Professions Code was updated to require that LDAs complete an additional 15 hours of continuing legal education prior to renewing their LDA registration. And then besides these mandatory education requirements, an LDA can choose to learn more and not limit their education only to what is required. We'll also discuss some of the other educational opportunities more in depth in a few minutes. But first, let's talk about the LDA mandatory educational requirements needed at the time of registration. When an LDA first submits an application to register with the county clerk in order to become an LDA, this LDA application asks the LDA how they meet the educational and/or experience requirements. Business and Professions Code Section 6402.1 sets out the rule, which generally states that one way to qualify is to have earned a certificate of completion from a paralegal program that is approved by the American Bar Association. Another way to qualify is if you've earned a certificate of completion from a paralegal program that is institutionally accredited, but that is not necessarily approved by the American Bar Association. In addition to that non-ABA paralegal certificate, the clerk is going to want the LDA to provide proof that they have successfully completed a minimum of 24 semester units or the equivalent to 24 semester units in legal specialization courses. And that's how I qualified. I graduated from City College of San Francisco, which was not ABA accredited at that time. And I was able to show the school transcripts and the different classes that I took that met the criteria of legal specialization. Another way to qualify is if someone has a college or university diploma. For example, if an LDA does not have a paralegal certificate, however, they do have a college or bachelor's degree in a certain field, then the registrant must have had completed at least 1 or 2 years of law-related experience working under the supervision of a licensed attorney, and that attorney must be willing to write an original signed statement on the attorney's letterhead stating that they have been supervising the registrant's work, what was the scope of that work, and the dates of that registrant's experience. If you don't have at least 1 year of law-related experience, some people qualify by having a college bachelor's degree and also being able to write a statement that the applicant has completed at least 1 year of experience providing self-help services directly to the public prior to January 1999. I know that this is how some tax preparers were able to be grandfathered in to meet the educational requirements. There are similar requirements for registrants who have a high school degree or GED, which could also qualify as meeting the educational requirements as long as they can also show that they were either supervised by an attorney or had already completed self-help services prior to January 1999. Regardless of the education requirement that the LDA qualifies under, the county clerk is going to want the LDA to attach a copy of the proof that they meet the educational requirements at the time of the initial and subsequent registration. So if one person says, I qualify because I received the paralegal certificate from this school, then the county clerk is going to expect that the application being submitted also has a copy of the paralegal certificate. In my case, because I have a non-ABA paralegal certificate, in addition to submitting the paralegal certificate, I also include copies of the transcript showing that I took courses in trial prep, discovery, civil litigation, and those types of legal specialization courses. Next, let's talk about ongoing education. Per Business and Professions Code Section 6402.2, to be eligible to renew their existing registration as an LDA, the registrant shall complete 15 hours of continuing legal education courses, which meet the requirements of Business and Professions Code Section 6070 during the 2-year period preceding the renewal, with one exception. A registrant is not required to complete legal ethics education as part of the 15 hours of continuing legal education courses. How do you report these hours to the county clerk, you may ask? Well, it depends on the county. For example, In San Francisco, the LDA must sign a declaration, which is part of the LDA application, indicating that they have completed 15 hours of continuing legal education courses. In other counties, the clerks will require a copy of the MCLE certificates indicating the classes the LDA attended, the length of time, and how many credits were given for attending that workshop. A way to earn these continuing legal education credits is to attend workshops that are approved by the state bar. There are a lot of MCLE providers that provide workshops and webinars and different legal specialized information that can be counted towards the mandatory continuing legal education credits necessary. Now, we have discussed the mandatory educational requirements for registering as an LDA. Let's talk about other educational opportunities that are available. LDAs can gain more education and knowledge by networking with their colleagues and sharing information, engaging in a mentorship with current LDAs or attorneys, volunteering at a legal clinic for low-income litigants. Doing that is the best way to get experience in learning various legal processes, how things are done. In addition, LDAs can gain more education and knowledge by signing up for newsletters and subscribing to e-alerts, reading, and then reading some more. LDAs can also listen to podcasts like mine and others to increase their knowledge. An LDA can gain more education and knowledge by joining an organization with like-minded individuals. Obviously, some of these educational opportunities will not give mandatory continuing legal education credit, but time allowing, LDA should always be learning and expanding their knowledge and their craft. With education comes knowledge, and with knowledge comes confidence. Confidence gives LDAs the ability to charge for the value that they are providing self-represented litigants, and finally, the ability to earn more by helping more people. How you choose to supplement your education is up to you. Just remember, the more you learn, the more you earn, and the more people you'll be able to help. Thanks for listening, and if this video helped you in any way, please hit the like button and consider sharing this message with a colleague of yours. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Until next time.